Welcome to another episode. My name is Bertrand. I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, especially when you get out of a relationship, because you're trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? And baby, can I get another chance? I can make it better, baby. I just believe in me, baby. Just believe. Right? Now, confidence is that thing that's going to help you accept what happened. Most importantly, move on. So accept and move on, because usually what happens is she just wanted another experience, right? You were just boring, or she got bored, right? She needed something different in her life, or the worst thing is she just didn't like you in the first place. Now, today's topic is about a woman who's telling us, now she's on the podcast, but she's telling us about the boy factory. So my question before we see this clip is, one, what is the boy factory? Two, is she looking for business or romance? And then number three, is there anything we can learn? Now, the reason I'm asking those questions is because men play this game in one of four different ways, right? You have Mr. Wallet, Mr. Bedroom, Mr. Fix-It, and the homie, aka the friend. Then women, in my opinion, they fall into four categories: wife, companion, fun girl, or gold digger. All right, let's check her out.
I think it's a dichotomy that we don't take into consideration of the baby boy effect, especially when we're dealing with mothers who have sons and were grooming their sons and raising their sons independently in the home before another male party was introduced. And a lot of times we don't talk about how women date their sons. And single mothers oftentimes do everything but their sons. And they have that emotional stability that is built within the home. And that's the reason why I say, a single mother is a boy factory. And the reason why I say that is because it's not that a boy can't be birthed from a two-parent home, although it is, it's an abnormality, it's an anomaly of sorts that you would encounter a significant amount of subpar men that have been raised in structive two-parent homes. But single women become so emotionally dependent upon their children, specifically their sons, that they will convince themselves that they don't need a man until they encounter the space from being alone to genuinely being lonely. And now we're having to deal with the imbalance that was set in the household, because this boy is not your son, he is your man. When you want to cuddle, you go lay down with them. When you want some emotional time, you go watch movies with them. You touch them and you rub them and you massage them. And you do these things, everything that you would do to a man to suffice that. A lot of women even dress their sons like the man that broke their heart.
This is tough.
Well,
but you are 100% right.
So I think that's the dichotomy. Like, I'm not saying that your children shouldn't have weight in your relationship, right, but what I am saying that we have to look at it from an integral space. Like, why do they feel this way? Especially if you're dealing with a man-child who is uncomfortable with your new partner, and this man-child is not necessarily a little boy anymore. Like me, I have an adult son. I have a 21-year-old son. So they're yeah.
Come on now. She was spitting hot fire. She was spitting. Now, everybody had to start off with, I agree, which means they understand this dynamic. Now, what was funny to me is I remember having that conversation with my ex, like, why are you doing that to him? Right? Like, why are you allowing your son to do shit like that? Because first of all, you don't even like that, but you're setting your son up for failure. He's gonna get out here and think that women really want a nice guy, and that all of these nice things that he's doing for you is gonna translate to another woman. Now, here's the thing. I'm like, sweetheart, you are out here and you were out here playing niggas. So why wouldn't you put your son up on game? All right. I mean, that just, it blew my mind. So when I heard her speak, I was like, damn, okay. It sounds like she's been through it. It sounds like she's actually projecting, right? So now let's get into the questions. Number one is, what is a fuckboy factory? Now, she answered this very vividly and very clearly. You're dating your son. This is the kid that you're emotionally bonded to. You're giving him the burden of emotionally having to take care of you, right? You're giving him that affection. This is why we hear women say, I don't need a man, when clearly they do, right? But I get it now. They're saying, I don't need a man. I have my son. And one day my son will be a man. Matter of fact, he'll be my man and he'll be a strong man, right? Now, this may be true, but it's going to hurt when it comes to her actual dating life, because eventually that son is going to want to go out and have a woman, whether it's a girlfriend or a wife, or maybe he'll just want to have a bunch of women, right? Now, they're going to have to really, really depend on mama's approval, which, I mean, it kind of should go like that anyway, but that mom is not going to be willing to give that approval. It's going to be way harder because she doesn't want to give up her man.
Just a reminder that I am missing my partner next to me where I can...
Being in the fuckboy factory, remember, she said this is something single moms create. And I remember Kevin Samuels talking about this. Actually, I remember a lot of men talking about this, but men call it son husbands, right? Which means this is that man that's actually in the household, or let's just say the testosterone that's actually in the household. But this is testosterone that she can control. Well, she can control it up to a certain point. Now, the affection that's given to this son is also the type of affection and the attention that normally the woman actually gives their dogs. That's why, for me, you know, it's hard for me to date a woman who has a dog. But I'm not saying that I don't, but I'm just saying that it's hard because I already know what's coming with that. I already know that dog has a real emotional attachment to her. Or let me flip that around and really make it make sense. Her emotional attachment, her emotional needs are all given to that dog, or that dog has the burden of dealing with her emotional needs. Now, this is the reason why I wanted to call this romance, because we're talking about affection, attention, making sure that you're emotionally okay. For instance, me personally, I love being touched by a woman, right? I love them just, you know, just touching me, rubbing me, right? So I'll tell my ex-wife, well, I'll tell the woman that I'm with how I like to be touched, especially by her, right? She also talked about the emotional time, being able to sit down and watch Netflix and get some massaging or rubbing or touching, right? The non-sexual but sexual, or let's just say the things that lead up to sex. When I looked at her hat, I said, that's a designer hat. So, she's definitely going to be looking for a man that got his shit together. So when you have your shit together, it usually means that you got some money. And if you don't feel the pressure from her, meaning she may say, oh, no, it's okay, cool, I got it, right? Her homegirls, her friends, her family, they're going to be looking and saying, girl, are you sure you like him? Because, I mean, I see he ain't got on what you wearing, right? So that's something that you got to really, really pay attention to, because one thing that happened to me a lot in my life is I could get the prettiest woman, I can get the baddest chick in the room, but I can't keep her. You know why I can't keep her? I never had enough money to keep her. So over time, I understood that, like, damn, okay, sheesh. All right, that's what she into. Well, I mean, I got to get it together. That's my mentality. I got to get it together. Not for her, but so I can provide that lifestyle, period. Because every single woman wants it. Now, some want a lot of money and some, you know, are okay with receiving just a better lifestyle. Now, let's get into what I learned. Now, what I learned is that you must pay attention to the details, because I didn't really, when I go back in my mind and I look at how certain women really treated their sons and how they really dressed those sons, I was like, damn, okay, I get it now. I completely understand. Wow, she actually was dressing her son like the man that broke her heart. And here's the thing that you guys have to know and understand. Those are the imprints. Those are the things that we look at and say, man, she's ruined. She's damaged, right? But here's the thing. If you're over the age of 20, you have some type of damage. You have some type of trauma. Again, confidence is that thing that allows you to accept that damage and move on, not to get stuck in that. We are all social creatures, and we really crave like that social interaction from others, just like we crave a sexual or an intimacy type of interaction. So if you're not getting it, especially once you've been intimate, you're going to miss it. Especially if you got a hold to Mr. Bedroom, or if Mr. Bedroom got a hold to you. Now, with this being said, as I can see in this woman, she's definitely older, right? I don't know how much older she is, but she's definitely older. How do we know this? She has a 21-year-old son. Now, I don't care what type of math you do. If she had the son at 20, if she had the son at 16, it's letting you know she's up there. And for, what we can see, I would say, okay, with the hat and, how she put herself together, she looks respectable. I want to say attractive, but it's kind of hard to see her. The reason I'm telling you guys to reinvent yourself is because confidence will put you in a position where you accept what you actually wanted, right? Again, it allowed you to accept that relationship is over, and it will allow you to accept the relationship that you actually desire to have. Better mind, better body, better finances. Now, every single woman wants some type of lifestyle. Lifestyle comes down to finances. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. So whether you're selling books, starting an e-course, getting a raise on the job, picking up a second job, creating something, whatever you do, make sure you are following your purpose. Now, purpose breaks down into two things. One, you're either the creator or you're helping the creator. There's a lot of things around here that have been created. Take a look around. You'll see somebody made blankets, somebody made pillows, TVs, dressers, fans, right? There's a lot of different types of fans. So whether it goes into a laptop, in a house, or, somewhere to cool a huge area. With this being said, I want you guys to improve your life, period. Exercise, better self-talk, do some type of affirmations in the morning and at night before you go to sleep, or anytime you go to the bathroom and you have to wash your hands, right? Use that small amount of time to just give yourself a better talk. Now, the self-talk, what it does is it actually helps you cut the sadness time down, right? Like some people think like, oh man, I'm just going to be happy all day. No, what affirmations do, or what they are supposed to do, is cut down the time that you're sad, or cut down the time that you're not focused on whatever it is that you are doing. Now, next, adapt to dating, because as we can see here, this woman, I actually believe that she's projecting, because the way that she was able to articulate herself, it showed me that she actually experienced that. Like, you guys hear me speak from my own personal experience as well, but I also use the experiences that I've gotten from other men, because other men are willing to share, especially the heartbreaks. Now, keep this in mind, fellas. You're dating and you're adapting to dating because you're trying to figure out what you like, or you're trying to find what you like. You're trying to make sure that what you want and what you like match up. And if that woman doesn't match up, well, go ahead and continue dating, because there are 2 million more women on this planet than there are men. And a lot of women don't even see those men. Right? So those men are invisible, which means if you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your finances, bettering your mind, reading books, you are putting yourself in a completely different situation. Keep this in mind, though. A rotten apple can make you sick. This is why I tell you, enjoy the hookup culture, aka stripper culture, because women are sexually free and they are letting us know. Now, when you look at a woman, you see how she presents herself on social media, it'll tell you a lot, because this is a highlight reel, right? Now, when you look at that highlight reel, just think about this: friends with benefits, situationships, flings. Now, where do these things happen, right? These things happen somewhere. So you can look at her social media and just get a real good scope of who she is and what she's about. Now, I do have a question for you guys. Did you learn anything in this video? Do you agree or do you disagree with her fuckboy factory conversation? Comment under this video. Remember, when you're watching these videos, you are becoming a better version of yourself. That means you 2.0. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.